Hey Collective, it's Alan. Welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to get on here real quick to kind of put a disclaimer out regarding why I haven't put the fairy tale theater thing out yet. And I guess the reason would be do you guys remember when I had the issue where I was trying to do the 5th installment to the questions for Elon Musk, and I kept running into a block system where I was having issues getting it up. Either I would upload it and it would delete itself, or I would have issues technically where I just couldn't get it up there. And so I finally had to scrap it and do an entire day where I just went and meditated and so forth. Well, I'm having a similar situation today, but I've been kind of nudged to explain a little bit more in depth this time what's going on. So essentially what happened was that I was about to post a really incredible piece on creativity and how we can use that as a form of entertainment and so forth. It brings back the system of morals and ethics to the equation in a way that's very relatable to every person, but directed more at adults. And it was a very good, powerful piece, but as I was recording it, I kept running into people either knocking on my door randomly, because that never happens, or having issues where there's suddenly a lot of sound outside. And essentially what had happened is that my energy was a little distracted, and I'll explain. So one of the things about spiritual leadership or leadership of any kind is to know where something is going and to be like kind of the lone wolf that sees the pitfalls and the red flags that are upon us. And so one of my friends had decided that they were going to get this stupid thing. And so I did my best. I did not take away their free will. I explained what my concerns were, and he had a friend who also, resides here who talked him into it. And so it was kind of like an angel on one wing and the devil on the other one. Although the other person isn't like knowingly doing anything wrong. Like everybody has free will choice. That's not the point of this. But he knew what he was doing. And so I ensured that as a leader I didn't overstep my boundaries. And so what I did is I just informed him what my concerns were and some of the things that were happening that I was seeing on a ground level, especially with my job and so forth, dealing with people, and some of the things that I've been hearing from a lot of others. And so I'd warned him about it. And he decided to get it anyway. And so as of yesterday, he's now in the hospital with some form of complication. Of course, they're going to say it has nothing to do with it, and it'll make it random. But when you have situations like that, what I'm being nudged to by my higher self to explain is that you cannot be mad at another human being for the choices that you make. You just can't. So me and the guy that talked him into it are not having issues. It's not going to be a problem. I spoke to this guy directly. I told him what the concerns were. I told him what the ramifications could be, and he still went ahead and did it. And so the lesson here for the collective is this. You stand alone in your choices. You always have, you always will. When it comes to this, for those of you who are spiritual leaders, and when all the truth starts to reveal itself and how we start to realize what's truly going on, and some of the fact that we already knew that we did not have enough time to test long-term effects to this thing. And so I'm not saying anything against it. I'm saying that there's just not enough time to have tested it. And as friends and people that we care about start to deal with ramifications or deal with health concerns that arise from not using due diligence, we as spiritual leaders must do what the divine has asked us to do, which is to let them stand alone. It is a terribly tough lesson for the collective, but it's one that we all must learn. We don't judge other people. We don't castigate other people. We don't make other people feel bad for the fact that they talk. You are still you. We are responsible for our lives. It's our soul here in the Academy. The Great Earth Academy is here to teach us. This is a teaching moment for a lot of people. And though there may or may not be any direct links, because of course they wouldn't reveal that, but if there was, let's just know there is, okay? The point is, you cannot then get mad at the world for the choices that you yourself have made. You have celebrities that are on, TV or YouTube speaking their ignorance all over the place, saying that this is a wise idea, and not even realizing that the first was a placebo and the second one is the actual thing. So, why are you getting sick? Duh, because you're getting the actual thing. And so, just understand that for those of you in public eye, this is going to be one of those harsh lessons where you're going to publicly have to face the ramifications for your choices and your ignorance and blasting it all over the thing. There are some decisions that we each make that should be kept private, and this is going to be a horrible fast-track lesson in that. But for the rest of us, just know that they must stand alone. This is between the higher realms. This is between them and God, Allah, Christ, the source of all creation, the great architect. This has nothing to do with us. This has to do with every individual on our planet making a conscious decision and knowingly accepting the consequences if there will be any. I had said in the beginning, leadership is not easy. Leadership is not made for the weak. It's not made for the meek. It's not made for people who can't handle the strain of it. It is meant for people who will have to own up to the fact that they may have made wrong decisions, and are they going to perpetuate it and trying to enforce something that's not healthy for all people. You do not have enough time to test this on everyone in the segment population. You do not have time to test this for long-term effects. And so now, as friends and family who you have spoken to about the ramifications, deal with possibilities that we don't know yet because they're just unfolding. You are to do what the divine asked us to do, is to stay the hell out of it. All we can do is bring light to the darkness and help people make it through it. But in the end, they must choose for themselves how they choose to make this journey. You have scientists warning that we're heading towards a dark age. You have spiritualists warning you that we are facing judgment. You have literally lies upon lies, and now a reality check that should be warning enough to me. They're incentivizing something that's experimental. How do we know? Because they're incentivizing it. If it was good for everybody, then people would be doing it. We're not stupid. And so now, as this guy, one of my friends, who I love, he's my favorite person here, is now in the hospital dealing with ramifications that happen to coincide with this stupid thing. You can see that I'm upset. But I'm not upset at the people that talked him into it. I'm not upset at the pharmaceutical companies. I'm not upset at anybody else. It's just part of the test. You are adults. And now you're testing on children, and even the adults aren't able to handle it. This is one of those lessons that, as a spiritual leader, I'm just going to tell you, will test you. I will be here, and I will give you as much love and nurture as I can, but we have been very clear. Those of us who are truly connected to Source, truly connected to the great architect, truly connected to God, that some things only God can solve. And you know this. And you acted in a way that violated your own sense of self. So for you spiritual leaders, ground your energy. Understand that you can't flash out at everybody over this. This is a test of IQ, and most people didn't do very well with it. That's not something we judge or look down upon. This is something that we show compassion, and we show empathy towards those that are now going to be going through the dark night of the soul journey. It's the physical side of it. We knew as above, so below. So I guess the point is I needed to get on here and to say that in order to clear my own energy. Because the truth of it is, if I'm going to be mad at anybody, it's going to be the person who decided to do it. And I'm not going to do that. That's not what leadership's about. I saw what was going to happen. I warned you guys what was going to happen. Just because other people didn't want to invest in my voice, and they didn't want to invest in the truth of what was coming, and they didn't want to at least even explore the possibility that this could have ramifications, that is not on me, it's not on you. It's not even putting blame on them, it's not even being manipulative, it's just, it is what it is. This is a great Earth Academy. Sometimes you pass, sometimes you fail. The best thing we can do now is to unite and be there for each other. Show compassion to each other. I'm not going to say anything to this person other than I'll probably go see him in the hospital if they allow it, because we're not allowed to see people that it's just an incredibly stupid situation. But here's the thing, everybody stands alone. Everybody faces judgment alone. But for those of you who consider yourselves spiritual leaders that are out here putting your stupid opinion out onto the internet and not taking responsibility for it, karma's coming. Do you guys remember in the Matrix when Neo's offered the blue pill or the red pill? For those of you who claim to be spiritual, you went back to sleep. Nothing I can do about that. But for those of you who are awakened, just know that not everybody's going to have a negative reaction to this thing. It may be karmic, it may not be karmic. But understand that you have to be big boys and big girls now. And you have to be willing to face this. And you have to be willing to be there for each other. And to understand that love is the answer. Whatever is gonna play out right now, it is your heart that will unite the planet. But we can't blame other people for our own choices this time. That's why it's called a Great Awakening. It's why God has asked us to face judgment. Because we can be there for each other and make it through if we choose to. But it is a free will choice. I just wanted to get on here and say that. Good morning. I hope you guys have a great week.